Namaste, people. Good evening. I am Daksh. I'm the founder of Blub World magazine. We work on a simple focus of finding teenagers who are doing inspiring work in their life and sharing their inspiration with other teens. To put it simply, we work on the focus of teens inspiring teens. Till now, we have covered around 300 such teenagers from across the world. And from time to time, we try to create industry white papers around K-12 sector, which is typically schools. तो समय समय पर हम लोग ये कोशिश करते हैं कि जो भी स्कूल्स में नया हो रहा है, इनोवेटिव हो रहा है, उसको हम डॉक्यूमेंट करें और वो बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड स्कूल्स के साथ शेयर करें, ताकि अगर आपका कोई इनोवेशन स्केलेबल है और बहुत सारे लोगों को बेनिफिट कर सकता है एंड इट कैन एक्चुअली बिकम अ बिग इनोवेशन, दिस इज द राइट वे टू एक्चुअली फाइंड एन इनोवेशन. कि पहले एक्सपेरिमेंट कीजिए, इफ इट्स गुड इनफ देन रेप्लिकेट कीजिए, इफ इट्स इवन रेप्लिकेबल देन स्केल इट अप. And till now, we have got some amazing ideas coming in from a lot of principals from across the world. So, and we are very, very happy to welcome all of you to the Blub World's Web Talks 48th episode. Till now, we have completed 47 episodes, and this is the 48th edition, where we have all of you. And more than 400 school leaders have participated in these Web Talks till now from 70 plus geographies from around the world. And the first white paper that we had to publish on our first topic, which is no lockdowns on learning, has already been published in this month's edition. And the second white paper will come in the next month's Blub World magazine. We'll be sharing the magazine with you as well. And before we start the talk, just to give you an intro of what are we expecting from you and what does the topic today actually encapsulate. So the topic for today is the future teacher or the teacher's future. This topic is actually has two ends to it. The first end is the future teacher, which is typically an aspiration of a school. That what do you think? What kind of a teacher would you want in the future? Or the way you want to define your teacher. And the second end or the second spectrum of the same topic is the teacher's future. This is your reality. And we are trying to match both. So what do you think, what kind of a teacher would you want in the future, and what all skills, trainings, or inductions or orientations would your current teacher need to be the teacher of the future? And so that his future also gets secured with you or with the organization, or his life trajectory or career trajectory finds a positive progression. So this today is the 6th or the 7th talk on this topic, and we have received some amazing ideas from a lot of schools. One essential part of this would be that all the teachers become tech savvy. But this we all know. But the perspective that we want from all of you is, how would teaching change? How would pedagogy change? How would teaching techniques change? And what kind of content or what kind of content delivery would you want from your teacher? Because when economies started developing, the world was a seller's market. The seller used to govern what will be sold in the market. But as economies progressed, we had globalization coming in. It turned from a seller's market to a buyer's market. And exactly that is what Corona or COVID-19 has done to the education sector. That from being a school's ecosystem, it right now has become a learner's ecosystem. So you right now have to find more and more ways to keep your learner engaged. So let's hear it from all of you, that what do you think? What will change and how will it change in schools for your teacher who's going to be there in the future, and your current teacher will make your future. So thank you so much, people, for joining in. So we have a special guest today with us who has a very good experience in media studies and in education as well. And अब जो future teacher है, उसका अगर आप job description बनाएंगे या उसका skill set description बनाएंगे, तो उसमें एक बहुत major skill होगी content delivery. और वो चीज comes from all the media skills that he learns. की presentation बनाना, सामने audience की psyche को समझना. So this all typically comes in the area of media skills. So let's hear it from the Pro Vice Chancellor of Adamas University, Kolkata, Professor Ujjwal Kumar Chaudhary. So Ujjwal sir, over to you.
Thank you very much, Daksh, for the introduction. Because we have a time limitation, I'll come straight to the point. Yes, it's here, and we are moving on to a time very different from the teachers of the past. So we had a pre-corona time, and now we are going to have a post-corona time, post-COVID time. And in this context of post-COVID, what we are going to see is a different type of education. So we are moving from teacher's world to a mentor's world, from a student's world to a learner's world. A teacher teaches in the classroom, introduces the topic, looks at a certain pattern of discipline, and also is limited to an extent by what he knows and what examination needs. A mentor does not necessarily teach everything, because exists in video form, audio form, text form, book form, digitally, otherwise in real life situations. So a mentor's job is to find, collect, aggregate, and bring it before the learner. The learner job is to learn it inside the class and outside the class. Unlike a student who is basically learning inside the class and from the books and for the exams, for the marks. The learner learns inside and outside, from peers, from what you call digital and physical, both ways. So you're moving to a digital mentor and a digital learner situation, where smartphone, Wi-Fi, laptop connection, and social media persona will be significant, both for the teacher, both for the mentor and the learner. And hence, what we have to understand, in case of earlier education, amount of imposed discipline could work, an amount of personal intervention and personality of the teacher could work. But in a mentor driven situation, learner driven situation, where we are moving to a blended education, physical and digital both coming together and creating a physical environment, in this situation it will be more voluntary sector learning, voluntary pattern of learning, because in digital you cannot completely monitor, supervise, and impose what you want to do. Yes, broadly there could be a control, or at least supervision, not control exactly. So therefore we have to move into an education where education has to be made interesting. It can only be made interesting if the learner is involved, engaged on his own. So therefore we'll move into a flipped classroom situation. In the flipped classroom situation, if I am teaching atomic theory, all that I have content on atomic theory necessary for that class, let's say class 9 or 10 or 11, I collect all those things. Could be links, could be videos, could be audio, could be PDFs, could be URLs. I collect all, even Khan Academy links, any other online education link. All these we aggregate, and with my own video or my own podcast, I send it in advance to the learner. The learner reads, watches, listens. All the three things: reads, watches, listens. All the three, and then come back to the class. And in the classroom, we basically discuss, doubt clear, maybe have a quiz. So this is an enhanced and enlightened type of a learner. I understand the question will be, when 70% people are not getting food, where are we being able to do this thing in the interiors of the villages? That's another issue. I strongly believe, like roti, kapda, makan, shiksha or swast, 5 ingredients for a dignified life. The sixth one is coming now as digital access. And the government has to invest the way government invested once in gifting television sets to villages, in gifting bicycles to the girl students who cross class 10 in many states of India. There has to be gifting of tabs to the students, or Android driven phones to schools, teachers, or even students as well, at least in the higher classes. And there can be also installation of computers with good internet connection in schools, multiple computers, both by corporate social responsibility of companies and also by the government. We must note the central government of India spends 2.6% of the annual budget in public education. It must increase to 5%. And then the state money is there. So we need to go to a different paradigm for that. But just now, if I am talking to private sector schools and colleges, the government will not invest there. We have to create our own, generate our own resources. And the generation of the resources will depend upon having an enlightened quality of mentors and an enlightened quality of learners. Comfort with video, Zoom, go to webinar live, Google Class, this should be required. O labs or virtual labs would be required. O labs or virtual labs can bring through the internet an experience of almost working in a laboratory. And then when we get well accustomed to it, then we can do it in the real life laboratory, because there will be physical distancing, but along with physical distancing there is the need for social bonding. So in spite of physical distancing, in spite of the students coming or learners coming to campus rarely now, maybe 2 days or 3 days a week. In spite of that, we have to blend the physical and the digital to create a new form of education, an education which is more voluntary, an education which is techno-savvy, which is more participative. So these are the basic points I wanted to put before you about the future teacher and teacher's future. Thank you, Daksh.
Thank you so much, Ujjwal sir, for sharing that perspective. And yes, it's time to actually democratize your class, to actually give a lot of rights to the learner, because he now actually runs the class. And when you go into flip learning and different modes of learning, at that point, उस बच्चे का contributive होना बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. And now the control or the joystick for your class is on the wisdom of the learner. तो उस पे आपको बहुत सारा काम करना होगा. On how do you build that? So let's now hear it from the school leaders that we have here. Let's now hear it from Mr. Dhruva Jyoti Adhikari, Principal, Sharda Vidya Mandir. Sir, over to you for the next 2 minutes. You can unmute your audio.
Okay, fine. Good afternoon, everyone. Like as Professor Chaudhary said a few minutes back, I fully agree with him. The entire education procedure is going to have a sea change. And we can clearly differentiate the education module as the pre-COVID-19 and post-COVID-19 system. Because, you know, it's a drastic change which is going to take place. It was a kind of situation for us when you grew up for education. School means where you meet together, you sit together, you eat together, you learn something. But post-COVID-19, the first basic rule that you're going to follow is social distancing. You cannot come together. What it means, you cannot sit together very closely, you cannot eat together, you cannot talk to each other. So that's what the situation is going to be. So post-COVID-19, education will have to refine itself, had to reform itself. So what is the mantra? What are we going to do? Yes, technology is the answer to it. We cannot deny this fact that we are into the corridor of a new kind of thing. We are into the horizon of a new phenomena where you will have to take the lab and the tabs on your hand, and you will have to go into the internet. You cannot. Now the role of the teacher. Earlier you could be facing the student physically. Personally, you can walk up to the student, you can say something, your mannerism mattered, but now you will have to actually talk to them over screen. So it's again a kind of drastic change which is going to take place, where parents are going to play a crucial role. The home atmosphere is going to play a crucial role. You see, why do we say it's school? We said it's school in the sense that everyone, irrespective of their caste, creed, religion, and most importantly, the family background, used to be together under a single umbrella in a uniform manner. But now with a scattered kind of students all over, you cannot have a uniform rule for them. Like what you can do is import your lesson over the webinar, but the family background, the tradition they follow, the culture they follow is going to have a role on the way the student perceives education. So a lot will depend upon the wisdom of the parents. Here, the parents will have to take a major role in that. And yes, the educational budget, as I say, with the changing scenario, India will have to invest massively in education. It's a time where we'll have to take it at par with the defense budget and all, and we need to make each and every household tech savvy. There should be an initiative that everyone has a kind of liking to get into that, because until and unless you accept that, you cannot move forward. That's the future. Yeah, thank you. I think it's over. The time is over, I guess.
Thank you so much, sir. I think, yes, India right now needs to actually think on increasing the education budget as well. But I think right now the time for most probably the self-reliant schools or the private schools will be that the concept of BYOD will work very well for you, that bring your own device, because that will keep it sanitary even for the students. And that will even ease the pressure on the school to actually build the setup that students use. So bring your own device is going to be the future in education. And I think a lot of edtech companies are right now doing that and finding solutions on these lines, so that the major IT infra cost gets amortized over a lot of people and it gets easier and affordable for them. So let's now hear it from Avijit Kumar Datta, sir, Principal, SDPU, Vidya Chakra, Raiganj, West Bengal.
Good afternoon to everyone. I am Sir Avijit Kumar Datta, Headmaster SDPU Vidya Chakra, West Bengal. And it is great pleasure to me to deliver my speech on the future teacher or the teaching future. I congratulate to organizer Bulk World to organize this webinar for discussion on the burning issue like this. Friend, now, hello, friend. Now,
Yeah.
nowadays it is big issue that how the school and the educational institution will running previously, and what will be the role of the administration of the coming soon. School will reopen sometimes, but some steps must be taken by the administration. It is important to take necessary measures which have not yet been taken because the situation is completely different between the pandemic and post-pandemic period. Social gathering nowadays must be replaced the social um, outstanding or social distancing. It is too much impossible to running this situation, but some major steps must be taken by us, like online teaching. But online teaching is not for the profession for our institutions. It is too much important and too much fulfilled for the professional course, but our physical institution, it is not fulfill the all the criteria and prepares more effective in the professional course, but it is the general theoretical classes, it is not effective. And we thought that the I2I involvement of the teacher and student, it is more more important and more fulfill our criteria. So we don't know what will be done and in the next, but do something, and it is necessary for us to do something. Some necessary steps must be taken by us, like online project method we can get, emphasis on the project based evaluation we can get, and we can get emphasis on the improvement of the household equipment, which will be improve us the creativity of the students. It is too much important for the future benefits. But ये तो मानना ही था कि आपत्ति से ही आविष्कारों का जन्म होता है, ये तो सही है। इसीलिए बहुत ही सारे आपत्ति तो उठना ही है। तो I think it must be a lightened futures for us, and I think it will be the and holistic approach will be the made by the teachers in futures. And this online teaching, I think it is a serious matter for the teacher, for our teachers, which is not only their teacher, they are teachers who come in the school. Not only that, globally they see.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Avijit, sir. Actually, the time was over, so we had to mute you, but we'll try to come back to you. But yes, some points taken very positively, that theoretical teaching will be a challenge in the coming times. And yes, global collaboration and global alliances is something that's now open to a lot of schools. And I'd just like to share an example. One of the schools in Gujarat, they have started teaching, or typically they've adopted the government school next to them and have given those children access to their online classes. So nine models of educational empathy are actually finding place, that private schools are taking care of kids in the government school. And these are two schools. We are creating an observation paper around them, that how do they adopt these government schools and actually share teaching content and share classes with these children. So
Daksh, I would like to note here that Adamas University is giving 2 hours a day from June 1 for utilizing its own resources for the government schools in the next 2-3 kilometers radius. And we are giving even our vehicles, buses, to bring the children and to start this training in small groups, because physical distancing has to be maintained. I also would like to note here that there has been also the plan of creating small 10 minutes videos on various subjects of class 9, 10, 11, 12 and share with a larger audience, and that too in Bengali, so that it can be shared with the local language schools, the Bengali medium schools nearby.
Amazing. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing those thoughts with us. Let's now hear it from Naveen Katwal, sir, Principal, Glen Hill Public School, Darjeeling, West Bengal. So, Naveen, sir, over to you for the next 2 minutes. You can unmute your audio.
Hello, everybody present here. A very good afternoon. It's so nice to be again back in this webinar to discuss about the prospect of teacher or the future teacher, because what I believe is none of the teachers were very sure, like all of a sudden, you have been doing the online and the lockdown, a solution had to be found. We found every teacher, whether technically able or not, but wanting to be part and partial of looking after the needs of the student. So, can you hear me, sir? Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you're audible. You're audible.
Okay. So, what has basically happened is we've always found our teachers ready to take up the role, no matter what comes. Now, what needs to be done is the technology blending has taken place. Everyone may not be so savvy regarding the technology, but slow and steadily, the B.Ed institutes need to revamp their syllabus, or maybe develop the syllabus in such a way where technology is part and parcel of every teacher. Technology will never replace a teacher, but the blending part is the crucial issue out here. I have found out, whether be it through the WhatsApp, through the Zoom, or through any other medium, all teachers are really wanting to teach and be connected with the students. Yes, we do not get that eye-to-eye contact, as one of the principals already said, and we may not be able to find the reaction immediately, but the way of connecting them is existing. Another important role is to be seen is that of the parents. When they are inside a classroom, there is no parent interfering, no parent saying anything to the child. The child is ready to take the instructions of the teachers. What a teacher says, a child listens patiently, attentively, and answers to whatever has been asked by the teacher. But now a parent sitting next to a child may be interfering. I say the word interfering is because child is never prepared to take a class in front of a parent. So I guess a sort of a sort of feedback has to be given to the parents as to how they can leave the child in the hands of the parents, even in the online classes. They should be left alone. So when they are left alone, I guess the education or the teaching learning process can continue at its own pace. Is my time up, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that perspective. And right now, a lot of schools are facing one big challenge, that every class and the teaching process has actually become super transparent right now, because a parent is sitting on every call. So he's actually, he has an opinion on everything that the teacher says, and which is creating a lot of issues within the classroom. But yes, we'll have to find even more better solutions to give the kid the learning solitude that's needed, and give the teacher, again, the sanity to teach, because you cannot review every single action of a teacher as well, because it's a very subjective content that's being delivered. It's not like a multiple choice question. There's no right way. There are a lot of right approaches. So thank you so much, Naveen, sir. Let's now hear it from Mr. Naresh Singh Rajput, Principal, St. Xavier's Public School, Sonbhadra, UP. So Naresh Singh ji, over to you for the next 2 minutes. You can unmute your audio.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak, and thanks to the organizing members. See, the topic which we are taking today in the webinar is the teacher's future, or the future of the teacher. What I want to say is, though I was late to join the webinar, but I want to share my personal opinion as a principal. That is, whatsoever we do as a teacher, as a principal in a confined classroom, what I think is that in any teaching method, the person should be totally informative first, whatever he or she is teaching. Then only our teaching will be fruitful. Whether we talk about online teaching, offline teaching, whatsoever. But what I have seen personally is teachers themselves, they are not totally informative, and that is why they are not answerable to the parents in any circumstances. Secondly, the teacher's future. As we all know, teacher's future is actually is just like a means unstable object, because teachers are mentally actually not happy, professionally speaking, because in every area they are given mental torture in either way, either from the management, from the parents, and any such matter. What I feel in today's topic is that we should first of all give respect to teacher, and when teacher gets respect from us as a principal, as a management, naturally I think any type of teaching will be fruitful, whether we talk about offline or online. Only boasting and talking or making confinement within the room and not giving them any freedom, I think that will not work out. So online teaching or offline teaching is possible when our teachers are happy and also they are informative with their subjects. So that I think will help us in any kinds of teaching learning process. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. The teacher will now have to be ultra informed. केवल informed होने से काम नहीं चलेगा, आपको next level information चाहिए. Not only information, उस content के अंदर you should be an absolute expert. But we'll have to understand at this point that even teachers are humans, so there'll be a lot of mistakes. And teaching बहुत ही ज़्यादा what you can say एक interdependent process है. वो केवल टीचर पे डिपेंड नहीं करता, बहुत ज्यादा हद तक वो लर्नर पे भी डिपेंड करता है, किस एटमॉस्फेयर में बच्चा बैठा है उस पे भी डिपेंड करता है. सो द मैनेजमेंट, और सर ने एक बड़ी अच्छी बात बोली कि एट दिस पॉइंट अ लॉट ऑफ फ्रीडम हैज टू बी गिवन टू अ टीचर, बिकॉज टीचर अपनी एक्चुअली सेल्फ एस्टीम पे बहुत सारी मतलब बहुत सारे हिट्स झेल रहा है फ्रॉम द पेरेंट और फ्रॉम द मैनेजमेंट. तो वो उस समय उसको आपको उसकी सेल्फ एस्टीम को बूस्ट करके उसको कॉन्फिडेंट बनाना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होगा. बिकॉज what we see typically in schools is when you hire somebody, he's simply an individual and you train him to become a teacher. तो वो स्कूल का जो ट्रेनिंग प्रोसेस है उसको और ज्यादा स्ट्रांग होना पड़ेगा if you want the right teachers in the future. So thank you so much, sir. Let's now hear it from Miss Sneha Brahma, CEO Durgapur Public School, Uttar Dinajpur, West Bengal.
Speaking about COVID-19, sir, COVID-19 has sparked a global realization of the new normal. As we see, the word very much familiar to us these days is the new normal. The normal including a digital world, where we need to utilize the new methods of teaching, or we need to innovate some more methods where we can use our teachers or our students in a way where the teaching and learning process will be very easy. But the new reality or the new normal has put many things into the look. That is the issues of equity or the fairness, the serious issues over psychological health of the children and the physical fitness. We can see how the teachers are doing these days is commendable, because the teachers as well as for everybody, it is a very new thing. And yes, our students, our teachers are utilizing this way for a better future maybe. So we hope that these things maybe somewhere will give us a positive look and we will learn something from here. And our teachers are actually, the teachers have been very proactive these days, and maybe we will adapt the situation very soon and we will go on like this. Hoping for the better days to come. Also, there are some challenges to us while we open the school after the lockdown. Maybe in 1 or 2 months, we'll open the school for the senior students, and for the juniors maybe the school will be in 2 shifts, but there will be a very big challenge to keep the junior students in proper guidance. because the junior students, it is difficult for us to maintain the social distancing. The junior students will be very difficult. But yes, we hope the teachers, again, our teachers will be like very good in this manner, and we will do something better. We will use the 3 P's like the preparation, the precaution, and the prevention to look on to this matter. And yes, the teaching. The teaching will be more digital, and I hope we will go on to it.
Thank you so much, Neha ma'am, for your perspective. And yes, pre-primary kindergarten is going to be a next level challenge now, क्योंकि बाकी सब बच्चों को तो you'll be able to engage online, but actually engaging them kids online or having them back to the campus is again a big. The problem is it's just we're not able to imagine the scenario that will happen, and that has to be thought out very nicely because kindergarten handle karna will be a new challenge altogether. Let's now hear it from Dr. Abhay Kumar Sahu, Principal. Triple SJ Vikas School, Jagat Singhpur, Odisha. So, Dr. Abhay Kumar Sahu.
So, we have got the components of learning, that is trainer, source, learner, and their development. The development like emotion, physical, mental, knowledge, practice, value, and value to the country, all things are needed. As education needs participation of all people, irrespective of caste, religion, language, earning source, etc. Direction of education is not propagating in a convincing manner for every component in the country. The country needs development and upgradation of youngsters in a simple way. So we have got the teacher may work under stress condition now after this pandemic. Maximum students with their superb techniques of learning without the aid of books will go like this. The personality of teachers also may show the quality expression. The natural condition which was availed to the students may be reduced. However, the teaching like to sustain the natural environment in the classroom atmosphere. Now, more website, online education providers may be reaching to the students instead of mere books. That may create a great revolution in studies. The education which was contained in local area may not stay like this. The education may integrate into the international scenario. There may be possibility of interconnection of many nations in the field of education. A variety of students may participate in a single platform to generate the concept of teaching of learning process. The students now may depend upon the school teacher, social media, visual aids, gadgets, apps, many more forgo the books to learn the things. The students may opt to become the self-sufficient to learn from social media if they are not satisfied from the school curriculum.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your perspective. Actually, the time was over, but we'll try to come back to you if possible within the call. And yes, the point is taken very seriously that resources of teaching will now change. Teachers remain the same. Some of the basic infra remains the same, but yes, a lot of collaboration will come in the class, a lot of cooperation from the teacher, from the parent. The empathy factor will right now go up in the school classroom. So let's hear some thoughts from Professor Chaudhary now. Sir, over to you for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, thank you. Unfortunately, can you hear me?
Yeah.
As I was telling, I have a press conference at 5 o'clock. So thank you for allowing me to speak another couple of minutes before I move out. Very good ideas have been brought forth by the last speakers. For example, the new character of new normal that has been brought forth is very radically right. The new normal will not be anything very close to the old normal, which was 5 months ago. And at this point, the possibility of getting international education through online and video and to integrate with our local education, this possibility has come up in a big way. Earlier, it was like some individual might do that, but now it will be a mass scale, sharing of aggregation of content from outside. So as I was telling, the quality of education minus the connectivity issue is there. That challenge is there, but over a period of time that will also go away. So minus that challenge, the real part, and initially people will take time to get accustomed to devices and content and all that. But over a period of time, even now in 2 months, we are much more comfortable with Zoom than what we were in March. So comfort level has increased. So going ahead, few things I would like to put forth as a thought process here. And please do share with me the recording of this entire show so that I can listen to the other speakers I miss out. So one, please come out with a document after reopening of the school. What will be the nature of teaching, learning, mentoring, and how hygiene will be maintained, immunity will be increased because many students eat on campus also one time, and how physical distancing and social bonding will be maintained. So do come out with the document. We have done it in our university, but please at the school level you can come out. Some schools have done. If the principals want, I can share what 2 or 3 schools have already done. I have got the documents I can share. And if Daksh prepares what should I say, a principal's educationist WhatsApp group, then I can share in that WhatsApp group these documents on what should be the campus scenario after reopening. Point 1. Point 2, what should be and can be the minimum cost digital devices, the minimum cost conferencing web, platforms, and the best practices with respect to webinars and all this, long distance learning. So this also can be shared, and this should be shared because this is the time not to compete at all, but to collaborate. The whole civilization is facing a crisis. We cannot allow our students to fall back or to be behind the global standards. So this is the time to collaborate. Always expenses are not required. At a very low expense, many things can be done. Then many schools have started, we at university have started, many others have started preparing videos on subject specific video. For example, photosynthesis, small video in Hindi, in English, in Bangla, small video on photosynthesis, for example, on solar system, at the higher level classes also. So these videos can be shared, and every time, every teacher we need not reinvent the wheel. We can share our content, and that's a very good way of learning going ahead. I would like to request Daksh, therefore, to, as you are creating white paper, as you are creating content, please also aggregate content. Aggregate the content from every principal, every university management that you come across, so that everyone can take the benefit of the others. There is no need to reinvent and do the same thing over and over again in hundreds and thousands of schools. Whatever we can share is a good thing. So that is the other point. New normal will make collaboration the bedrock of working ahead operations, not competition, but collaboration. This is another thing I would like to put before everyone. And the last point, class 11, 12 students are most tensed. The junior students know the principal and the teachers are there, so they will take care of some years. But class 11, 12 are in the maximum tension now, particularly class 12. And we need to reach out to them. You, and if you want, we also in media, through Blab World maybe, we can reach out to class 11 and 12 students, particularly the 12 students who are uncertain about their immediate future. Even 11 is also tense. So we can reach out to them with psychological counseling, with emotional counseling, and with career counseling, and how to become a digital learner. A proper workshop on digital learning. Not expert on things I can be. So we can bring in experts, and it is a necessity now. This, even if the class 12 students have already completed school life, but they are hung up in the middle. In July, their HS exams are there, and then they are uncertain about that, about the future. So, and class 11 also within 1 year will be facing the situation. So I request that there should be collaboration to bring students across many schools together through the web medium, sitting in their homes, obviously with good connectivity, otherwise there is a problem. And we should reach out, and media can create a platform to reach out to them with understanding of the new normal, understanding of a digital learner, a digital mentor, and how career can be built up in a new platform. Service sector particularly will go digital in a big way, and manufacturing will still be physical. So we are moving to a physical plus digital world, and let us collaborate and not compete going ahead. That is my request to every principal. It's good to meet you and hope to see you again offline or online. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I salute you for the hard work you are doing. Doctors are saving the world. We, the teachers, are shaping the world. Please be proud of your profession. I am sure you are, but please continue this and take the message to every junior, senior teacher. What they are doing is phenomenal. In last 100 years, such a crisis has not come. So if this is a crisis, we have to build up and stand strong, as because once India was the Vishwaguru in education, and we can again become, provided we actually marry the wisdom with technology very intelligently and without any competition, complete collaboration, sharing one another's all documents, all videos as much as we can. Thank you very much. And I will take your break because I have a press conference to attend. I'm sorry. I wanted to be here till the end, but again we will meet. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ujjwal sir, for sharing that perspective. And yes, collaboration will be the new rule that comes in, rather, because शायद हम एक दूसरे से ही अब सीख के जल्दी आगे बढ़ेंगे, because the problem with tech is कि tech इतना जल्दी बदल जाता है कि उसको सीखने का time नहीं मिलता. So you have to learn it on the go. And अब जिस तरीके के changes education में आ रहे हैं उनको you'll have to learn it on the go. And इसीलिए whatever best practice schools are doing, this is the time to share. And that's the simple reason this platform of Blub World Web Talks was actually instituted, so that the best practices from everywhere across the world can be shared with everybody, so that you can experiment and actually see that what works for you and what does not. So let's now hear it from Dr. Keshav Chandra Mandal, Principal, SM Derozia Smriti Vidyalaya, Kolkata.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for providing this opportunity to share our views within very short time, though only 2 minutes is nothing. Now, see, I had been listening the entire discussion, but the direction of this discussion should be divided into some parts, or at least 2 parts. What? The education in private sector education, educational institutions, and another one is government sector educational institutions. You see, the problem is much in government role. Still, in India, education system is the majority education system is run by a government sector, and these sectors who are coming to government institutions, maybe a school, maybe primary school, maybe high school, maybe a college, or maybe a university. Those who are very poor, those who are very from unprivileged society, they come mainly from the marginal group of society. They come to government. And for them, you are talking about, most of the speakers here talked about online teaching, so many videos. So nowadays, there is no scarcity of videos and audios. There are lots and lots of audios and videos available in net. You can find on every subject. But the problem here is that the reachability, how we reach to the students. In my school, I have seen that majority students are very poor, and their parents, there is not a single parent who is graduate. You see, so in this way, they don't have, the students of class 5 to 8 or 9 or even 10, they don't have their own mobile. So how will the situation, how will they get education? I was earlier making and sending videos to the students, and I have instructed my teacher, my colleagues to do the same. But what happens? They cannot do this. They cannot listen to the videos. Their phones are being taken by their parents to their workplace. So these are being problems. So now we are talking about that the situation will continue forever. I am hopeful. I am very much sure that the situation will not, sustain for long. Maybe this year, I am hoping so. But still, if it continues, we can provide teaching in open space. Maybe we can call and joyful learning. Now this is yes. I will conclude. Joyful learning is the best way. An open learning system. Maybe we will call a group of students, maybe phase wise, which I have already suggested to the government also. So phase wise teaching might be very helpful, and I will give some work to the students, and they will learn. They will show their work to the teachers, and in this way we can do. But thank you very much.
Thank you, Keshav sir, for sharing those concerns and those thoughts with us. And I would just like to tell everybody who's there on the call, the first 30 sessions of the Blub World Web Talks were actually focused just on this. What all solutions can be given to schools who do not have internet, and typically innovative solutions that can be used during the lockdown. And out of those 30 talks, nearly 300 school leaders participated, and we selected 96 ideas out of those, which we published in the magazine, and we'll share it with you. A lot of ideas can be used by schools whose parents are not educated and who do not have even internet access. Just to quote one of the participants in today's call, Ms. Ruma Mukherjee shared a very nice idea in an earlier web talk where she shared the idea of creating a custom dictionary at home. You should ask students to create a custom dictionary where you add 5 new words every day. And once the school reopens, tell them to bring that custom dictionary to school. There's one school in Sundarbanj, I think in Odisha. They did a very nice thing. They told kids to create a wisdom diary, that write down every day what good and bad you do during the day and bring that diary to school. So it will become a good vehicle to actually judge your wisdom, that how do you understand the good and the bad for you. So we'll share that with you, sir. Please use those and experiment those, and then you can share your views on what happens by using these ideas. And if you're doing something innovative, please share it with us. Thank you so much for actually bringing in that perspective. In every call, we try to bring the maximum diversity that we can. So we try to bring some of the best schools in the private sector. We try to bring some schools who are not catering to a very economically comfortable class. We also try to bring some government schools, so that a complete diverse opinion or a diverse thought process actually comes into play. So I hope you are enjoying these 20-30 minutes with all these views coming in. Let's now hear it from Ms. Aditi Chakrabarti, Principal, St. Jude's High School, Kolkata. Aditi ma'am, over to you.
Good evening, everybody. It's nice to be here. Now, before I start, I'm just reminded of one of Isaac. I listen to everybody speaking. It is all honorable principals speaking. It is quite interesting to listen to them. Like I'm reminded of Isaac Asimov's that story, The Fun They Had, when we had read about two children, Tommy and Margie, and Tommy relating to his sister Margie about the fun they had when there were brick and mortar buildings, when schools were there, and everybody enjoyed schools during that particular point of time, where children used to enjoy tiffin together, and etc., etc. Now today I would like to say that this particular process, the fun they had, which is basically an interaction between the children and the teachers, it is something which has to be brought about in the online classrooms. The virtual classrooms should be taken as real classrooms. I got to know about new ideas. And of course, supposing if when we had the online classes during the summer breaks or before the summer breaks also, we had been inspiring our teachers to make, supposing when they were teaching poetry, it was safe to the teachers to call out each and everybody's name in the class, and so that they elocute together a particular poem, so that there is an interactive lesson and everybody comes together into that lesson. I would like to say it would be into the lesson. Supposing if it is Merchant of Venice being taught in the class, it is everybody who will partake in the class in the form of dramatics. One will be Portia, the other will be Bassanio, the other will be Greciano, and etc., etc. And Shylock, and the teacher being a part will enact that, and the students will enact that, and ultimately the lesson would not be rather I would not call it to be an online class, but it will be a live classroom. So the main point which I would like to say over here is that in this COVID-19 situation, we have to teach them, students, that if we know how to hate each other, if you are taught how to hate each other, now it is a time where we should love each other and we should interact with each other. And interactive classrooms, of course, will be more beneficial to everybody in the world. And that is why this is something which I would hint upon. The next important point is that regarding the curriculum, regarding the syllabus, of course, we are defined as an ICSE, ISC school. We are defined a curriculum by our boards. But at the same time, for the middle school classes, I would like to say that let's have more of quantitative, more of qualitative teaching than quantitative teaching. So we should have digital teachers, knowledgeable teachers who would follow knowledge like a sinking star. At the same time, they would try to bring into their teaching something which is more enhancing by bringing in the quality, and that should be in the air. Supposing we are doing nothing, but we are shaping the future of the tomorrow. So in the form of classrooms, we should have not only have classes of education, but we should have education, yoga, meditation, dance classes, and all interactions, so that children become a part and teachers remain apart, and we all interact together and make it a celebration. Remember, school was a place of celebration. Again, teachers and children will be celebrating in the online classes. This is what I want to say.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And yes, happiness को या emotional connect को अब बढ़ाना बहुत important है. That has to be done in the classes now because बच्चे इतने समय से बहुत अपने friends से दूर रहे हैं. They have been experiencing a void and वो emotionally बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छे state में नहीं है. तो उस emotion को वापस लेके आना is going to be a next challenge because अब जब schools खुलेंगे तो teachers mask के साथ पढ़ाएंगे. So again, expressions won't work in a class. So students से वो emotional connect build करना is something that we'll all have to think on that how will we do that. Let's now hear it from Mr. Mintu Ray, Headmaster CMS High School, Bardhaman.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity for participating here. And thank you for your great effort for such innovative work. Here, the topic, the future teacher or the teacher's future. I think COVID-19 will change the entire scenario in every aspect of life, in social aspect, in economic aspect, in educational aspect, everywhere. I think teachers will have to change their role to some extent in the classrooms. Number one, teachers should play the role of felicitators instead of teachers. The old method of giving lectures will be changed, will be replaced by the use of electronic appliances and electronic gadgets. Here, the teacher will have to use videos, audios, everything to cope with the changed situation because COVID-19 will make India more digitized in every sphere. Here, teacher will have some medical knowledge, some knowledge of psychology or physiology, because these teachers will have to explain that to students, what is social distance. The teachers will analyze the psychology of the students, because students can have some kind of phobia in their learning after COVID-19 stopped, and the teachers will have to try to make the learning joyful by analyzing the psychology of the students, what they are wanting, what is the demand of them, and teachers would be very innovative. Teachers will have to be very innovative because the psychology of the learners will always be taken into account to make the learning, to make the teaching joyful. Here, though the teacher's life will be an example before the students, again, as usual, as Gandhiji said, object lesson. Similarly, teachers will influence by their lifestyle, by the changed lifestyle.
Thank you, sir, for your thoughts. Mintu sir, the time was over. We would we had to mute you. But yes, your point's taken very positively again, that yes, the teacher will change, the school will change, and emotional connect wapis se will have to bring in. So let's now hear it from Ruma Mukherjee, Principal, Spark School, Padua, Hooghly. So Ruma ma'am, over to you for the next 2 minutes.
Hello, good evening to all educators. Thank you, sir. And before we come to the topic, I would, listening to Sir, Professor Ujjwal sir also, there has been a huge shift in the mindset of the teachers. Now we have shifted drastically from the offline mode to online mode. Now we feel that the main role of the teacher post-COVID would be depending on 3 C's: the care, the concern, and the compassion. As Daksh sir also said that the teachers would be coming to school whenever the school reopens, when the teacher would be entering a classroom, she or he would be wearing a mask. So the full expression of facial expression won't be visible. But this care, concern, and the compassion of the teacher is very much needed. And this role, because the teacher was teaching in a traditional method, now all of a sudden we have come over to switched on to this online mode. Now, switching on this online mode, we are not able to look into the psychological factor of the students, because as Ujjwal sir said that students are really very tensed now. They are tension now. Previously, what the students used to do, if a particular student was not good at education, the child was good at sports. Now they used to go outside, play a football and come back and give 2 goals. The child became positive again. Now that scope is not provided to the student or that child now. So automatically, if any harsh word or that would aggravate that psychological stress in the student, so this mentor classroom by the teacher, or the teacher need to be a mentor or a facilitator nowadays. And all the students now in the country like India, when the schools which are situated in the remote areas, many of the students we find don't even have a desktop or a laptop or a Wi-Fi connection. Now that becomes a huge impediment to those students. Now reaching them becomes a huge or mammoth task of the teachers. Another point is that whenever a teacher is taking a class, previously it was mostly on the traditional basis. Now it has become not on syllabus oriented, but more on content oriented. And the teacher need to be more focused on the learning. Previously, it was assessed only by the students. Now his or her teaching is assessed by the parents equally when they are sitting along with their child in the front of the laptop. They may not be then academicians, so they are not the proper person to judge. But over here, we are finding over here that more engaged learning. Teacher's role is more on engaged learning. The teacher need to push a child to more researched base and give them a problem or a solution, where I have more examples to state on with those things. And also a feed-forward model, where feed-forward model means the rubrics will be given by the teacher before only. That suppose a case is given to a teacher and the child will come up with the problems and the solutions, where already the rubrics must be set by the teachers beforehand only, and based on those rubrics only the child can do on. Thank you, Devi, no time. So
thank you so much, Ruma ma'am. And yes, feed before model actually works. Flip learning is actually working. Project-based learning will be the future, and we'll have to all think on those lines, because keval education will be a problem now. It has to be edutainment. Thoda sa education, thoda sa entertainment, because that is what will keep the student engaged. क्योंकि अब आपको actually focus इस बात पे करना होगा कि what does the learner want, and always trying to find out that, because that is that place जहाँ से वो hook create हो गया, where he stays connected with you through the whole lesson. So thank you so much, Ruma ma'am. Let's now listen to Miss Mariam Noor Yunus, Principal, Stride International School, Dhaka, Bangladesh. So Mariam ma'am, over to you for the next 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I hope all of you can hear me. Okay, yeah. Wonderful. Firstly, I would like to thank Blood World for this honor and giving me this opportunity to be amongst such learned minds. Truly, this is so enlightening. I was very excited when all of this started, and even more so because I would want to continue keeping in touch with all of you, and maybe help my students here as well. Now, my school is in Dhaka, Bangladesh. It's a different country. And I have been principal of the school for the past 5 years. For the past 2 years, I have been involved with an online e-learning platform called TutorsInc. And now I feel I'm blessed that I have been part of it, because online learning is a portal already visited, created, and now we want to reach out to everybody with that portal, because we understand that the COVID period has shown us that this is a portal that can be taken. Now, if I talk about the future teacher, I think we will have to understand first the future of education, because it is dependent on, both of these are interdependent on one another. So I feel that because of what's happening now, education will change in 4 key ways. One is collaboration and co-creation, where teacher teaching in front of the class, full of students will have to become a thing of the past. So teachers will actually have to teach online as well as offline. So teaching becomes physical as well as virtual. In this case, it is the students who we feel we will see them stepping up a little bit and becoming partners and co-creators of their own learning journey. Second is anywhere, anytime learning. I think this is also a motto of our online learning platform. Because nowadays technology has brought everything so close to us. Everything is there at the click of a button or the command of the voice. And if teachers can use this smartly, then children can learn better. So I feel that it is important for us teachers to help the children adapt technology and learn from it. And we should also let them know how to handle the problems that arise from it. Thirdly is customizing a learner-first approach. Now, this is very important because this reshapes how teaching should be developed. So I believe that as doctors don't have one-size-fit-all formula for individual students, teachers also cannot have one-size-fit-all children in a classroom. Now they will be coming online, we will be teaching them, and we have been doing so actually for the past 2 months. So this formula is tried and tested. Yes, Mr. Purohit, I'll be finishing very soon. So I feel that teachers need to plan their lessons accordingly. This makes the future teachers to be data collectors, analysts, planners, collaborators, and problem solvers and researchers. Lastly, an important point is testing the test. I'm working on that because it is important to understand what are we going to do with this testing system. I could continue for another 2 minutes, but I won't because I'm out of time. I would really like to collaborate with all of you. And Mr. Daksh, thank you very much for bringing me on this platform. I was very impressed by what Mr. Ujjwal sir said, and loved your idea, Ms. Ruma, about the dictionary. I loved the idea of Ms. Chakraborty as well. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your perspective. Again, anywhere and anytime learning is something that has to be adapted now. So before, since we have already had all your thoughts come in, so before this talk comes to an end, as we always do, I leave you with some thoughts, which is simply food for thought, so that when we meet next, there's some more interesting things to discuss. So after talking to nearly 400 school leaders till now, and trying to understand what all difference or what all change will happen in the coming times, we have understood one thing for sure. Technology is going to be there, that we all know. And what we know that most of the EdTech products or platforms that we are using or we are going to use in the future, they do not solve education issues. They solve communication issues. So education problems or education issues still remain to be solved by the teacher or by the school leader or typically by all of you. So this is the time when you actually have to leave the basics of running a school. This is the time you have to actually take your level 1 up and again think on how would policy shape education? How would you shape education? What do you think would be the skills that you'll teach to a student now and that will become critical in the coming times? What we think is you'll have to teach them that how does actually learning take place? Giving them the actual benchmarks or the steps of learning something. That if you reach this level, then at this point you've learned this much. Then the next set comes in, then the next step comes in. So that he can himself track that where is he in the whole learning spectrum. This will keep him more engaged with what you teach. Your teachers will now have to learn a lot of presentation skills, devising content in such a way that it keeps the students hooked. Actually understanding the way a movie trailer is made, or how do you make a trailer of a lesson that within a minute explain that lesson to your students and let them prepare the lesson and come back to you with their doubts. Again, using flip learning. So you'll have to now think on a lot of innovative approaches that come into education. So before this talk comes to an end, just next week, we are having the 50th episode of the Blub World Web Talks, where we are having Additional Secretary Niti Aayog and the Mission Director for Atal Innovation Mission, Mr. Ramanan Ramanathan coming in. We also have Dr. Bishwajit Saha, the Director for Skills of CBSE coming in. And whatever thoughts and whatever observations you have shared with us, we'll be sharing a copy of those with these two people so that it can be forwarded to the policy makers. So if there's any idea, anything that you want to share with these people, please share this with us upfront. Our teams will stay connected and ask you for that. If you want to ask them any questions, you can also share those. And in the coming episodes, we'll be having the Honorable Lok Sabha Speaker come in one of the webinars, Shri Om Birla Ji, and we're creating a suggestive document out of all these suggestions that we've got till now to be actually forwarded to the MHRD through the Honorable Speaker. So if you have any thoughts that you want to push into the Government of India as a suggestion, you please share that with us. And we'll be sharing the white paper with all of you, the magazine with all of you. So I hope this session of the last 20-30 minutes was enjoyable to you. If you did, and if you want to attend the future sessions, you can unmute your audio, say a big yes. And thank you so much, people, for being a part of the Blub World Web Talks 48th session. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you so much.